Hey guys, how's it going? So if you guys been following the channel for a couple of weeks now, you guys notice my videos haven't been like where they normally been, right? I haven't been doing videos every day. Normally I do them every day. Haven't been doing a lot of skits. I've been running into a lot of problems, and most frankly, these past 2 weeks have probably been the worst 2 weeks in my life, at least for a very, very long time. I haven't had no death in the family or anything like that. Thank God, knock on wood. But just awful, awful stuff. So 2 weeks ago, my car starts acting weird. Right, it drives fine, but when it's at a red light, it spits and sputters, and it wants to stall out. It just and it's guzzling gas. Right, so I call my dad. I'm like, "Hey, Dad, this is what's going on. Can you come check it out?" Because my dad was a mechanic for 30 years. He's like, "Yeah, bring it over to his friend's shop. His friend has a shop that he used to work with." He's like, "Bring it over to my friend's shop." I'm like, "Okay." So I had to call in from work, which you don't get many call-ins at where I work, right? And they're not very lenient when it comes to that. So I called in from work, went there, and I'm thinking it's like the spark plugs or something like that, because usually if you have like a bad spark plug, it'll spit and sputter, and it really affects the whole car. And I go there, and they're working on it for a few hours. And then my dad's like, "Well, I'm going to go to lunch. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "No, I'm just going to wait in the waiting room. And I'm going to just, relax until it gets done." And my dad's paying for everything because I have no money at this time, right? Like, I haven't got paid yet. I have no money. My dad's going to pay for everything, and I got to pay him back. So when my dad leaves, his friend comes into the office and like, "Look, you need to junk your whole car." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Your struts are bad. Like, this is bad. Your tire's about to blow out. The computer's bad in your car. Is going to cost you like $5,000. You need to junk the whole car." So I'm like all upset, right? I got tears coming out of my eyes. I call my dad. I'm like, "Dad, he's telling me I junk my car." My dad comes back, and then my dad pulls me to the side. He's like, "Look, he's not lying to you. We looked it up. There's a lot of stuff wrong with your car." I'm like, "Well, what am I going to do?" I'm like, "Friday, I'm going to MegaCon." I'm like, "I already have hotels reserved. I already have my tickets reserved. I can't get refunds for all that." I'm like, "What am I going to do?" He's like, "Well, he has 3 cars in the back that he's selling. Go out and pick one and then get that car." I'm like, "All right, whatever, fine." I miss my baby. Like, I love my car to death. So I go back there, and the best car he has, the best looking car, the best running car, is a 1997 Toyota Camry, right? A 97 Toyota Camry. So I'm like, "What about this one?" He's like, "Well, I want 2,900." So my dad gives him $1,000 down. Plus, my dad takes me to get my tags and insurance transferred over, which was another $100. So I owe my dad $1,100 right now. Then I owe this guy $1,900 to pay off the rest of the Toyota Camry, right? So at this point, I don't care. The air conditioner works. It runs great. I'm fine. So I get in the car. The first thing I do is go get this thing washed. I'm in the car wash, and water just starts pouring in from the driver's side. And I get out, I open the door, and there's no weather stripping around the door. So water just poured in. So I go to Discount Auto, I get weather stripping, and it's not sticking. So I go home, and I super glue it. And I super glued my hand to the car. I finally got that fixed and everything. And then I noticed that the door handles are broke in the back. Like, you can't get in. Like, the door handle in the back driver's side is broke on the inside outside. The one on the passenger side is broke. So I'm like, "What's going on, man? This car is just a piece of crap." So it's running good. I'm heading to Orlando. I go to MegaCon. MegaCon's good. I'm doing good there. On the way home from MegaCon, my tire blows out on I-4. Okay, if you guys have ever been to the Orlando area around Disney, you know I-4 is like a 6-lane highway. It's so busy, it's crazy. I'm driving, the whole fucking tire blows out. Now, I asked them when I got the car, I'm like, "Does this car need tires?" "No, the tires look good. The tires look good," right? So I'm driving home, right? Tire blows out. I'm stranded on I-4 for about 4.5, 5 hours. My body is burnt to a crisp because I was on I-4 in the sun for 5 hours. I got the worst sunburn. Like, I was completely burnt all over. My dad drives all the way out there. We get the tire. We go to the nearest Walmart, TLE, get a spare put on. That's $50. We go back, put the tire on because the spare that's in the trunk doesn't fit the car. So I'm driving back. And then the next day, I go and get 4 more tires, 3 for the rest of the car, and then 1 for the spare. So I get there at 9 o'clock. 2 o'clock comes around, and my car's still not done. I'm like, what's going on? So finally they get the tires done, and then the guy comes like, well, I can't put a tire on the spare because the frame's bent. Okay, fine. So I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, they said the frame is bent. Can you order me a new frame? I'll pay for it. You know, I'm using my YouTube money at this point to pay for all this stuff. So my dad orders me one. The next couple days, I go and pick it up. It's like $35. Then I got to drop another $50 for another tire. So I spent $400 to $500 on new tires. And everything seems to be going good now, right? Everything's going good now. And then I drop Autumn off at work. I get into a fender bender where a guy was pulling out in the parking lot and just backed up completely into the car, denting the side. And I come home. And on the way to work, I noticed that the oil light came on. I'm like, what the hell is going on now? You know, they told me that I don't need an oil change for 3,000 miles. They just did an oil change. What's going on? So I hurry up and I pull over and I run in and I grab 2 of the synthetic oils because this old car needs synthetic oil. And I'm pouring it in, and there's no oil on the dipstick still. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, what's going on? I'm on my way to work. I'm running late now. The oil light came on. I put 2 quarts in, nothing. And the oil is expensive. It's like $7 a quart. So I ran back in, grabbed another one, poured it in. Finally, the oil showed up on the dipstick, and it cost me $21 to do that. So I'm going to work. I'm like, everything's okay now. Everything's all right. You know, I got new tires, got the oil in the car. We're good, man. We're good. You know? And then on the way home, the whole car just shuts down on me. Like, I'm driving, the whole car starts overheating. The overheat gauge just goes up, and the car just dies about 2 miles away from my house at 11 o'clock at night. Like, I'm driving, and it was the most scariest thing. Like, I thought the tire blowing out on I-4 was scary because I thought it was gone. I thought the whole car was going to flip over. I was going to be dead. But this was scary because I was going up to a red light and then the whole car just died and it wouldn't brake. The car just kept drifting. If it would have happened around 12 in the afternoon when I'm heading to work, I would have been dead. I would have hit incoming traffic. There's nothing I would have been able to do. But luckily, it was 11 o'clock at night. There was no traffic. And I was able to just kind of let it glide to a stop and then pull it over to the side, put my hazardous lights on. And then I had to walk home, which was about 1.5 miles to 2 miles in the middle of the night out in the country. And it was just awful. So guys, this is my life. This is my life. This has been the worst 2 weeks of my fucking life. Fucking car broke down again. Walking fucking 1.5 miles, 2 miles to get fucking home on fucking 11 o'clock at night. Fucking Autumn ain't picking up her goddamn phone. This is my fucking life. Fucking broke down on Sunday. Broke down today. How many more fucking days am I gonna break down with this fucking car, man? This is my life, guys. YouTube fame, that's what this is. So, that was last night. So, I called my dad. My dad came pick me up. You know, we went back out, checked the car. The car started running. I got it back to the house. He's like, look, bring it by the shop tomorrow, and we'll take a look at it. So I get up. I check the radiator. No water, no Freon, no antifreeze, whatever the fuck it's called. Nothing in the radiator. So I fill it up, bring it to my dad's shop, and I'm like, look, I just want my old car back. I'm like, I spent about $600 on this car, and it just keeps breaking down. It's not dependable. So my dad's like, well, fine, you can get your car back. So his friend comes over. He's like, well, you can have the car back, but it's going to cost you another $1,000. Like, what? He's like, yeah, we fixed a bunch of stuff. We put new struts on it. We fixed the motor and the window. Like, we did all this stuff, and I put $2,900 into the car. He's like, so I'll take the $1,000 your dad gave me for the Toyota, transfer over to this car, and then you owe me $2,900. Like, dude, I just put $500 worth of tires on the other car. He's like, well, that's not my fault. The car had tires before you get on. Like, at this point, I was pissed. I wanted to ninja kick this motherfucker to fucking Hawaii at this point. I'm really upset. I'm trying to keep it together, and I don't know what to do, so I'm just like, fine, whatever. Okay, I'll pay you $2,900. Just give me my car back, please. Right? So I get my car back, my baby, my Saturn back. I told my dad, I'm like, look, I'm going to take this car to my guy. I'm going to take this car to my shop that I normally go to. I'm like, because there's something fishy about your friend. I'm like, Dad, you've been gone for 10 years in New York. I never had car problems. I take it to this guy one time, and he's telling me I have to junk my car, buy a car off him. Then he takes my original car, adds a bunch of shit to it that doesn't really need it, and then charges me $2,900 for the car I normally started from. You know, so I'm running with my car, and guess what, guys? He never fixed the original problem. The whole spitting and sputtering that I started off with is still there. It drives fine, but when I get to a red light, it spits and sputters and stalls out. So he never got rid of that. So I'm like, what the hell is this? Is it a fuel injection? Is it the fuel pump? It's got to be something to do with the fuel, because I smell fuel burning. I'm going through a quarter of a tank of gas or a half a tank of gas and just 15 miles, so it's got to be something with the fuel injector or the fuel pump. So I managed to get to my normal guy, and I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, I know you guys are busy. Is there any way I can bring the car in tomorrow? He's like, yeah, Friday will be best. I'm like, well, I can't do it Friday because I have to work. Can I bring it in tomorrow? He's like, bring it in tomorrow, drop it off. So my plan is to bring it in tomorrow, drop it off, catch an Uber back to the house, and just wait for Adam to come over. And hopefully he can get it fixed. Now, this guy has been awesome. He has fixed my car in the past. Anything I had wrong with the car, he fixed it. He was reliable. He didn't try to screw me. But there was something fishy about the other guy. There was something fishy about my dad's friend. I mean, I caught him in a lie, because when I went there today, he said that when he said I had to junk my car, he said my tires were about to blow, right? So I asked him, I'm like, well, did you guys change the tires? He's like, no, the only thing that was wrong with your tires was the one that was right here. It's dented on the rim. And I looked at Autumn, and I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, but we changed that. But that was my spare that I had. I always had that dented rim spare in the trunk of my Saturn. Always. So he's telling me that it was on my car and he took it off and that was the problem. That's 100% a lie, because that spare has never been on the front of my car. It's always been a spare. So I'm catching this guy in lies. I'm trying to tell my dad, like, Dad, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. I mean, he wants to sell cars. Now he's making $3,900 off of me and my dad. My dad gave him $1,000. I gotta give him $2,900. I'm so much in a debt right now, and it's just been the worst week, like the worst couple weeks ever. Like breaking down every single day. Just my stress levels through the roof. I'm not being able to concentrate on work and YouTube. I don't know what to do at this point. So I don't normally do this, but I'm asking for any type of help financially that can help me out, to get me out of this debt, to get me to where I can actually, hopefully pay for the repairs of the car, and then I can start going back to normal here. I have a link for a donation in the description box below. I don't normally do that. I hate asking anybody for anything. I hate it so much. I told my dad last night, I'm like, I don't want your help. I don't want to ask for help, but I am so much in a hole right now financially that it's going to be like a year before I can get out of it. There's no way. I owe $2,900 here. I owe $1,000 to my dad. I owe $3,900 in debt. And that's not even counting the repairs that I have to do to my car tomorrow, if I even have enough money to cover the repairs. I don't know what to do. I lost $400 to $500 on tires that I don't even own the vehicle for anymore. It's just been an insane week, and I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. So if my videos have been lacking, it's because of that. I have so much going on my mind. I can't relax. I was gonna go see Brightburn today. I can't, because I don't have the money, and I don't know if my car is gonna make it to the theater. So it's everything. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I appreciate you guys listening to my story. It's just been awful. I know other people have worse times than me. I'm not saying my time is worse than anybody else's time. I know there's more tragedies in the world, but it's really been very stressful for me trying to maintain a normal life and go to work and be able to get to work every day, not having to worry about losing my job because my car breaks down. Trying to constantly put out content on YouTube. But thank you guys for listening. Once again, if you guys have anything that you can possibly donate, it would help out a lot, guys. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll keep you guys updated. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and yeah.